We got it now. We're good. We're charging. So, I am back. I am alive. And I forgot my drink. Dang it. Oh well. Okay. I mean, alrighty. Well, we're just going to awkwardly jump into our story. So, basically, we're reading Bought with Blood. Dang it. Sorry, guys. By, Brian Potter. So basically, it's about vampires and werewolves. And we have two sisters who are strippers. They work in a strip club, but the strip club is ran by vampires. So, the vampires, and then there's a werewolf apparently that works there. But they don't know about the people being vampires. And so then, from there, they were attacked during a private showing. And in this, after this showing, so, like, one of the girls turned into a werewolf. No, not a werewolf, sorry. She turned into a vampire. But the other sister doesn't know that she's a vampire at this particular time. And as the story continues, like, you know, she drains a guy and whatnot. And then we find out that there's werewolves. And there's one werewolf named Simon who works at the strip club with the vampires. And from there, he basically, like, last we left, he told the human sister about her sister possibly being a vampire and stuff. So he just told her. She's not happy about it and whatnot. We've had a couple people get shot. And we know that Simon and I think it's Blake. Simon and Blake are like stepbrothers or something like that. One's a vampire, one is a werewolf or something like that. So from there, like, we are we learned about their backstory too. Oh, they're also missing a sister, but we found out that she's a vampire. She kind of runs another strip club, so I think that was pretty much the gist of what we read last time. So, we will continue. We're starting with, like, Mama's Boy. I heard that Mama is a great character, so we will find out. There's an ad break coming. You know, maybe I'll wait for the ad. How about that? But I don't. No, Axe, I'm back on. I don't know how to let you know. Maybe if I send you a message. How about if I do that? There we go. Alright, I sent him a message. Maybe he'll come back, because I didn't see that. Alrighty. Alright. So we are on Mama's Boy. Oh yeah, that's right. I was waiting for the ad to come back. Well, that's okay. I'm pretty good at talking, so... Oh, I think I figured out my facial expressions. I could show them off. Y'all want to see them? There's one. There's another. There's that one. Is that the last one? No. Okay. Okay, I have one more. One more facial expression. I'll have to try to remember to use them. I tend to forget. So yeah. Alright. Alright. Let's go ahead and start in the story. Oh, wait. Nope, I got a few more seconds before the ad's over. Okay, cool. Alright, here we go. Simon led Tanya out on the concrete expansion on the riverside to a brick maintenance shack where the only door faced the water. He unlocked the door and showed her inside, where they were met with a series of perforated steel stairs. Their steps echoed in the plain, pale gray corridor that took them down under the city, where a network of clearly labeled concrete tunnels hummed around them, ever louder as they ventured deeper. He turned a key in another door labeled maintenance, then walked them into a room organized with cleaning supplies and stocked lockers of uniforms, gloves, hard hats, face coverings, and an assortment of paint cans. "Put these on," Simon instructed. "Anytime you feel the need to come in here, you'll just need to look the part, and no one will bother you for more than a cleanup or bathroom plunge. The people who work the facility clock long hours, and most of them don't like to ask for anything. But if they do, just play along. Tell them you'll be right on it, and then make yourself scarce." He pulled a set of blue overalls out to hand to Tanya, with a patch on the chest that read Cross. "Roll the sleeves and pant legs until it looks like it fits. You can belt the waist with some twine, or bring a belt, or whatever. The more it looks like it's yours, the less anyone will ask about it." "Why are we here? Don't tell me you work here," Tanya asked. You don't think I beg my brother for gas money when I come around, do you?" Simon tried to make his question sound like a joke. "I'm not down here a lot. The great thing about a janitor job in a place this big is everybody's too busy to check on your work. And if they run out of toilet paper, they blame it on their wife's cooking instead of me, not keeping things stocked. I come down here just enough to keep my appearances, get some pay coming in, and get away from up there when I need to. Come on, there are some people I'd like you to meet." Further into the facility, Simon brought her to where several dunnage bins were arranged near a door that read, "Hard hats required." "It can get loud in here, and the chlorine smell is overwhelming at first, but you get used to it." After securing the door behind them, Simon again took the lead and followed a series of wide blue pipes that stretched and bent along either side of narrow, railed walkways through the underworks. Long, parallel brown pipes hung from the ceiling by U-shaped rebar and spanned the entire length of the stretch in a straight line. Motion sensor lights click on along the way until they reach a rectangular vault hatch on one side with a chain hung out of order sign dangling in front of it. I'll get you a key to the other door should you need to come here on your own. But this one should give you some trouble if you're not careful. I jammed the crank so it would be difficult to open for anyone but me. So remember to grab a pry bar from the supply office to make it easier on you, and always close the door when you leave. He took hold of the crank wheel and turned it to the left with a steely groan that echoed loudly against the concrete walls. The heavy door swung in to reveal a lounge area furnished with beaten couches and recliners whose dilapidated cushions sagged with age and wear. A kitchenette and a vending machine partially stocked with salty snacks and microwave meals were in the far corner of the room. Across from the heavy vault door was a ladder leading up into an unlit circular manhole, which I just realized. Oh, cool. It's like, it's a different thing, but here we go. I just realized that I have not. Sorry about that. Y'all didn't get to look at the book. Y'all just seen me. So, sorry about that. Now we're back on to the mainstream or whatever. So, alright. Tanya was startled at the sudden appearance of a black woman also wearing overalls who popped her head out of a side room doorway. Tanya turned to see Simon trying to hide a smile as she stepped back. Baby, for a janitor, you sure keep a messy place. Don't you ever clean up for company? You better come over here and give me a kiss now. She had a disapproving look on her face that stretched into a broad grin. Tanya stood near the door as Simon rushed over and picked up the tiny woman in a hug, spun her around once before putting her back on her feet. Then he leaned down to kiss her as she craned her neck to return it with an exaggerated mwah. Simon took her hands and pushed the tiny woman a few steps back to look her over. Time is always so kind to you, Miss Pie. Time is always so kind to you, Miss Pie? You don't look a day over. No matter what he's about to say, you can be sure it's a pan-fried fee. Oh, it's fee. My bad. Okay. You can be sure it's a pan-fried, saturated fat lie. Nothing but comfort food that only tells the truth when you put your jeans on in the morning. Miss Fee said, looking at Tanya. And don't neither of you dare call me that. You know, it makes me feel old. You boys and your new friend here will just call me Mama, as always. Oh, this is Mama. Okay. She broke free from Simon's handhold and offered her hand to shake to Tanya. And just who might this little piece of heaven be? Simon took a breath, but Tanya beat him to answer. It's funny you should say. I'm Angel. You sure are, sugar. Just look at you. Bright blonde feathers bleach right in the sun itself. Shame to meet a creature so gorgeous in these drab coveralls. What are you doing with this sewer rat? Y'all run into some trouble? Mama asked. More like trouble ran into her, Reno. Her, Reno. Simon answered as he pulled his arms out of his overalls and tied the sleeves around her waist. Mama raised her eyebrows and looked back at Simon. What did you say to me? What's Reno got to do with this? He's supposed to be long gone. Well, he ain't, Simon said flatly. He trashed Angel's place and then stowed away in my Jeep. Tanya watched dumbfounded as Simon peeled off his shirt, revealing scars on his arms, belly, and chest. Fair, curled hair clung to his defined torso, patterned like an upside-down Christmas tree. His skin was several moles and oddly placed freckles, and when he turned to toss his torn shirt into a trash can, Tanya saw his broad back, which looked like the victim of several whippings, stabbings, and a couple of scars that looked like bullet wounds. She caught her breath and looked at the floor as she crossed her arms uncomfortably until Simon slammed the closet door and pulled the plain gray shirt from a shelf to put on. I think this is Mama speaking. I'm going to assume. Sorry if I left that out earlier. We know him. He used to be part of our pack. Speaking of which, I thought Josh was going to be here. Simon speaking. Oh. Okay. Sorry. Sorry if I left that out earlier. We know him. He used to be part of our pack. Speaking of which, I thought Josh was going to be here. He's on his way. He's never been a front door kind of guy. You know that. Mama's voice softened. You fought with Reno, didn't you? When he stowed on you. And I could see it in your eyes. Did you kill that boy? Tana looked hard at Simon, but he only shook his head. I don't think so. It's hard to tell for sure, but I like half a day through the woods in the pouring rain and couldn't find him. That's why I wanted to bring Angel down here. Her place is being patrolled by police, and I have to assume Reno is waiting to catch her there alone. The whole story from the beginning, huh? Tanya asked with a dejected tone. I'm sorry. Simon looked surprised at the accusation. I didn't think it was important at the time to tell you I knew him. Well, I used to, anyway. He's not one of us. He's not with us. I told you why he was there. That's what's important. If we intend to get the jump on him, we're going to have to bait him out. He'll likely come to the pack next for sympathy. You think he'll come to me licking his wounds because I'm sweet on my boys? Mama confirmed. I guess that sounds right. But I can't meet him alone. He knows better than to walk into an ambush. Tanya and the others looked at the ladder as echoing footsteps descended into the lounge with them. And this is our Mr. Joshua, Mama said, nodding towards the ladder. Late as usual, I see. Their expected guest turned at the bottom of the ladder with an irritated look on his chiseled face. He was clean-shaven, with a dimpled chin. His right eye was milk white with a scar above and below it. He smoothed chestnut curtain bangs out of his face and adjusted his zipper leather jacket with a roll of his shoulder before he approached Tanya directly. Haven't been down here in a while, Joshua said as he circled her and smelled her neck. No need to be afraid. I just like to get a profile. Everyone has their own unique scent. So I'm assuming all of these are vampires. I mean, not vampires, but werewolves. So this is like the pack. Is Mama over the pack? That would be interesting. It doesn't... We haven't... I don't know. Alright. I left my drink downstairs. So I'm kind of sad. Sorry about earlier, by the way. Yeah, you know, sometimes I just have technical difficulties. and I have the worst luck when it comes to technology, so that's kind of what happens. My laptop is charging now. No, so I had my charger cable and it was plugged in, but it wasn't charging. So I don't know. I still don't know. But the cat does have a tendency to chew on my cord. And that's kind of what I thought happened was like, cuz he has a tendency to like he'll chew through cords, like he'll chew them in half kind of deal. You would think he would get shocked, but I don't know. I don't know how he has it. But so okay, you're saying that she's a den mother? Wait, why is she the only female? Don't wolves usually have like more than one female? Okay. Sorry. I put a piece of gum. Maybe that would help since I don't have anything to drink. Mama rolled her eyes at him and threw her hands up as she walked towards the kitchenette. I told that boy many times, women don't like to be sniffed. Behave yourself now. We're not animals. Well, you know what I mean. Joshua walked away from Tanya and sat on the arm of a couch facing Simon. Been doing some hunting, Simon? You still haven't cleaned your gun. He sniffed again. You showered recently? You smell like a wet carcass. Good to see you too, Simon retorted. I asked you here for help. Where's Fisher? You know how he feels about close spaces and inhibiting smells, Joshua said. I heard everything on the way down. Sounds scary in this place like we're passing around a microphone. So, Reno's a problem again. The thing is, we have a little problem of our own. Got a bloomer whose time is coming. It's one thing to play babysitter to one of our own. I'm guessing you brought the girl to meet us, hoping we'll watch her for you? A bloomer? What about the parent? Simon asked. We don't know yet, Joshua said. I'm just telling you the plate is full. Tana stepped forward to make sure she would be noticed when she interrupted. What's a bloomer? Mama shot a sidelong gaze at the men and approached Tanya. Oh, really? Wait a second. Werewolves can only be bred? So it's not like biting. Like if you bite one, they'll turn into a werewolf kind of deal. Not that situation. Have you thought about making a prequel? Just a little of the backstory of like the werewolf stuff and like the vampire stuff. You know. Like about like the females and stuff like that. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because like I've noticed that a few of your like vampires and werewolves, they don't follow the typical lore. So that might be a good idea. That is true. What if you weaved it into a story somehow? Like just like a story about, like, for example, like Simon or whatever. And like how he was born as a werewolf and stuff like that. I don't know. That might be an idea though. And I forgot what the other. Yeah, that could be, yeah. A little companion book. Just something that explains, you know. Just so that, like, the readers know that it's not your typical lore stuff. I can't remember, but I think there was, like, one with the vampires. And I can't remember what it was. But yeah. Hold on. Is this about to answer my question? Hold on. I'm not sure who's talking here. Ooh, Luna. Is Joshua? Mama is. Okay. Thanks. It's just for, like, my voices. That's the only reason why I asked. If I was reading this, like to myself, it wouldn't affect anything. Like, I would easily keep up, but just for the voice sakes, it's hard sometimes. Hold on a second. Whomever owns the last action is usually the next speaker. Well, it was... Oh, Tanya. Oh, okay, Mama's side. Okay. Okay. That is helpful. You know, I don't think I've ever heard of Anne Rice. Anne Rice books. Oh, Interview with the Vampire. You know, I actually never read that book. Wasn't that like a movie or something? Okay, these other books of hers I never heard of. So yeah, I'm on there. I don't know her lore very well. Really? Yeah, I've never... I mean, some of these books I was really young when they were published. Keep in mind, I am 26, so... Really? Okay, so if I was to start start reading her books, what would be the first book to read? Alright. That's what we call the first change. When the moon is bearing down on us, drawing us to her mysteries, it sparks a sort of puberty for a new wolf. Luna, we call her. The moon, when she speaks to us at that time, to guide us to the child. We can sort of feel her intentions, her pull, and we use that to try to find the pup and show them the way so they aren't alone. If the pup accepts us, we will offer a place in our family. The first change is difficult to handle. Very few survive it if they have to do it alone. Joshua explained as he and Mama looked at Simon briefly. And every pack has rivals, so claiming the new wolf can be a matter of war for us. We have to weigh very carefully if a fight is worth trying to save one now or submit to the pup growing to be a rival in the future. There are only a few of us, so when we can, we enter the blooming. What does that have to do with this monster following me? Tanya asked. Hey, just as courtesy among friends, we don't much like being called monsters. Joshua pushed his lips together, and cocked an eyebrow. And frankly, it has nothing to do with Reno, Joshua replied, which is why we can't help you. We'll be looking over our shoulders constantly. Oh, 'cause that would be different from any other day, Mama broke in. Angel, he's right though. In this case, we don't have any idea what Reno's planning for you. And our window for the blooming is just one night that we don't even know for sure when yet. Simon got up to make coffee, then turned to lean against the sink. You're right. You shouldn't be taking on any extras right now. At least you've had a chance to meet. So, should you need to come here and find Angel, she's not some stranger, and she's welcome here anytime. Oh wait. Wait, is that... I'm assuming this is Simon talking? So, should you need to come here and find Angel, she's not some stranger, and she's welcome here anytime. She needs a place to stay that's safe. And this is it for now. That's what I thought. Okay. I was a little confused because like he was kind of acting like he lived in that spot or something, and if Angel was there and they showed up in his apartment or something. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So it's supposed to be like that? Alright. Wait, does he live there? He doesn't live there. Wait, does she... Okay, so... This person... This author... Anne Rice... Does she have more movies than just the interview with a, interview of the vampire? Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense then. Okay. Alright. We do know what he wants, Tanya corrected. Simon told me on the way here that he's after vampires. Yeah, vampires. He's obsessed, Joshua said. What's that got to do with anything? Tanya uncrossed her arms and confronted Joshua. Reno thinks I am one, and you just agree he may come to Mama for help. So what if Mama recruits his help with the blooming in exchange for helping him hunt me? Joshua, Mama, and Simon exchanged a look. Mama gave a wink and grinned at Tanya. You better have one hell of a plan if you expect you and me to be a bait, girl. These boys don't let Mama get her hands dirty very often, and you're just getting your feet wet. Mama put her hand on Simon's shoulder. I like her, but baby, she looked up at Simon with a condescending shake of her head. You better dump that coffee right out. It's bad for you, and it stinks to high heaven. And that's it. Oh, my bad. Altered, you're in here. How are you doing? Did the head pat work? Sometimes it acts up. I don't know why. It's kind of annoying. Or are you in the ad? You know, you may be in the ad, so you may not even hear me. Dang. Alright. Oh, Trip is on. That's cool. Alright, is everybody back? Altered, how are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. And let me know if the head pat works. Sometimes it acts up. It's dumb, you know. Sorry, Axe, for the ad break. I've been told that they're pretty important, but I don't know. So we basically just read, Tanya, Simon took Tanya to, like, a job that he sometimes worked at, just to give her a place to hide out. And we met Mama and Joshua, which is part of the wolf pack. So that's what we just read. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's continue, I guess, to perishable goods. Melissa opened her eyes inside what had finally become a familiar four-poster bed with heavy curtains drawn around it. She rose from the mattress to her dark room and made her way out, down the hall in her bare feet and thin satin nightie. She looked about the quiet manor and watched from the top of the staircase as two other residents, whom she had met but couldn't remember their names, left out through the double front doors. She crept quietly down the stairs despite being told several times to treat this place as a welcome home. Melissa went to the cellar door, but hesitantly rested her head against it. She nearly doubled over on weak knees, then grabbed the knob and pulled the door open to descend into the dark below. The lantern Thaddeus used before was hanging in its place near a box of matches on a small high shelf at the top of the stairs. She struck a match and cautiously inhaled to smell the acrid, sulfurous odor and waited for the sting in her nose that never came. Melissa opened the lantern and lit the wick, tightening the exposure to only what she needed to see ahead. At the bottom of the steps, she could barely see a short distance around her and tried to maintain a straight line as she moved slowly until she reached the cart of instruments and glassware. The post here was empty, but a faint moaning from deeper into the dark could be heard. Is someone there? Melissa heard a feminine voice pleading. Please, will you bring the light closer? Melissa moved forward, opening the wick just enough to extend the light until she saw a row of bound people situated far enough from each other that they couldn't reach one another. The first of which was a woman with long hair, a mess all around her face that hung to shoulder length. She was stripped from the waist down, as all the others were, and near each of the people Melissa could see against the wall were small matching chamber pots. Melissa could see her pot had tipped over and rolled out of reach. Please, I can see your light. Can you help me? I don't think I can wait much longer, the woman said. Her voice was cracking and labored. Well, this is interesting. Melissa set the lantern on the floor and moved closer with slow, careful steps. Neither can I, Melissa said as sweetly as she could before throwing her arms around the woman and sinking her fangs into the neck. The woman moaned as if in pleasure from the bite. Melissa drank deeply, allowing herself to enjoy the privacy of sating her thirst without an audience. A man next to them began to sob loudly in the weak light. Melissa lost her sense of time, not having to leave room to breathe, and continued drinking the only drink she would ever need again. She dug her nails into the woman's shirt until the skin underneath tore. The woman's knees went weak, and she hung heavily in Melissa's arms. The room around Melissa began to fade into a haze as she heard a rhythmic beat, like the ticking of a dual clock, getting louder, getting closer, until it stopped almost on top of her. Miss, I believe that's quite enough, came the voice of Thaddeus behind her. We must be careful about portions, lest we allow hunger to control us. Melissa let go of the woman, who collapsed to her knees with arms bound by her wrist above her head in chain shackles. Melissa turned to face Thaddeus with a steady stare. Is this really how you talk all the time? You sound 100 years old. I speak the way I have always spoken, clearly and deliberately, he answered with a hint of a smile. When I was a boy, this would have been called having a stately manner, and as such, I prefer my distinction from today's jibber-jabber. I guess that's fair. I don't think I'd be willing to change the way I talk for you either, Melissa admitted. It just stands out, you know? Then it is as it should be, miss, Thaddeus said with a barely noticeable bow. Please allow me to attend to this guest of ours. Will you be staying in this evening? I guess so. I don't feel like going out. I don't feel anything. Melissa picked up the lantern and dimmed the light as the man nearby calmed herself to a low whine. I also noticed some other weird things, like that dress. Well, all the dresses are great, but the peacock gown was amazing. I just wish I could have seen myself in it, you know? The row of other bound guests had also become restless since Melissa and Thaddeus had begun speaking. Thaddeus pressed a pair of fingers to the bound woman's neck and gently touched her face. You almost ended this woman's life, which is why we prefer to use our tools to ration how much we take at a time. I will be happy to assist you in the future, so we might be more careful of overindulgence. Thaddeus, miss, is quite familiar enough, if you please. Okay, sorry, Melissa forced an apology. Thaddeus, I don't get the point of this. These people are... He interrupted again. Speaking of our guests, as though they aren't present is impolite. Upstairs, please. When they reached the top and hung the lantern, Thaddeus closed the door and began to answer. Those people are under my care. They have come to us willingly and received the hospitality they each requested. Were pried from the cold and hunger of living on the streets. They had each an opportunity to leave once they had the warmth and meal they had hoped for, and each overstayed their welcome. Therefore, I offered an extended stay and promised they would never suffer the cold nights of our lonely city outside these walls. Yoshi, thanks for coming back! Foos, thanks for being here! So I got my computer to charge, because I know, like, the laptop wasn't charging, because I stream on my laptop. And it wasn't charging, and I just have bad luck when it comes to technology. I'm like the worst. And so I got it to charge, and so we're back up. We're back up and running. So thank you for coming and coming back and stuff. Foos, how was your stream? Oh, granted. You know what I totally forgot to do earlier? Well, Foos and Yoshi, you're back in here, so I could totally, like... Here we go. I always forget these. I'm glad to hear that. Did you ever fix the whole, like, issue with the game? Did you find out? The outfit's not here yet. Yes. Okay, so because of, like, the subs that I got, like, last month, which I much appreciate everybody that has subbed, it helped me be able to purchase my outfit. So the person, because I get it customized, so she should be working on it. So Thanksgiving oh, you're welcome, Yoshi. So I should be usually it takes the girl, like last time for my wings it took a week, so I assume it'll probably be here like next week when I stream or whatever. And I think Altered was here. Yes, you have to wait. I'm sorry. But it will be super exciting to reveal it. So yeah. So like I said, thank you for everybody that has subs, so I was able to purchase that. Because all the subs basically went back into like the channel, you know. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I got some other stuff to work for too. So yeah, so thanks for coming, guys. So basically, like, what we just read, okay, we read one chapter already. Basically, Simon took Tanya to a job that he works at sometimes so that she could hide out there. And we met Mama and Joshua. And they're both werewolves. So we met two other werewolves. And now we are starting the second chapter of the night. And it's back at Melissa. She's at the mansion again, and she basically went down to like a cellar that had these like, they had people hanging from chains basically. They were like half naked or whatever, and she almost drained one of the people hanging there from hunger, you know. And Thaddeus basically had stopped her, and that's kind of where we left off. And basically Thaddeus like stopped her from draining the person and whatnot. So that's where we are. Okay. He held up a hand when Melissa looked like she might interrupt him. Our existence here at Valent is unnatural, to say the least. We have requirements to meet each day for quite a sum of residence. Thankfully, most nights, Master Fletcher's family members prefer to go choose for themselves and retain a place among society in some respects. But we'll be remiss not to ensure a healthy, ready supply of Lippish? I think that's the word. They had ascended the curved staircase back up to her room, where Thaddeus entered with Melissa and addressed the mirror. The blood, or vitae, as Mr. Fletcher prefers, is what allows you to wake up from your slumber each night. You use what you imbibe to carry. Hold on. Oh, I think this is Thaddeus. Okay. The blood, or viatus, as Mr. Fletcher prefers, is what allows you to wake from your slumber each night, and use what you imbibe to carry out many tasks, and the cost of any gift you may have within you. There are limits, of course, but it is the price that you pay for immortality. You must be patient and deliberate, and your gifts will show themselves to you in time. He gestured to the mirror at her vanity, where Melissa took a seat. She looked hard at the mirror, as she had done several times since the start of her new life. As she focused her gaze on the glass, she pulled her hair in front of one shoulder and stroked the length of her straight brown locks. The empty room and the reflection was soon blocked by her own face. She watched as Thaddeus placed a hand on her pale shoulder. Melissa smiled at herself, then curled her tongue and touched her cheek. She only stopped for a moment when Thaddeus turned to leave. One is glad to be of service, miss. Blake unrolled the tape on his wrist and removed a pair of padded gloves, while the heavy bag hanging from his loft rafter was still swinging towards neutral on its three-point chain. Sweat dripped into his eyes and down over his bare, freckled chest to the soaked waistband of his workout pants. His phone vibrated with an obnoxious jingle on the nightstand. Heavily enough to walk itself to the edge of the table, he caught the phone just before it fell and unlocked the screen to reveal a new message from Layla. I gotta pick a shorter tone for that, or level this table, he said out loud to himself. Here's the ad for the showcase I've been planning. It's the perfect time to send your girls up to meet me for this big audition. Don't disappoint me like Michael did. Creatures of the dark, bare your souls, one night only, Black Friday midnight, Lady Cleo in the flesh, live feeding on center stage, capacity limit, pre-order now. Blake forwarded the ad to Angel's number, then a separate one to Rose. Their numbers were still saved under their stage names, as he had with all his girls at Blush. Just an FYI, just in case you don't remember, Angel is Tanya, and I believe Rose is Melissa. When he sent Angel's message, he added, "Dress nice. Cleo says it's more like an audition than an interview. She wants to see your style. Be there a few hours before the big show at midnight." Rose's message was different. Blake chose his words carefully. "Might be a hell of an opportunity for you to make a name for yourself outside of a sister act. Tell Cleo I sent you." Blake tossed his phone on his unmade bed and stripped, leaving his pants on the floor as he went to start the shower. Oh, that's the end of that chapter. Okay, kind of like what I said before, like, Melissa, she almost drained a guy and whatnot. Thaddeus stopped her, and then we were at, basically, in the view of Blake. We're back at Blake. I don't know if his view is the right word. But, basically, he made, like, a audition thing or whatever. So, now, and then he's just telling his girls to basically come audition. Alrighty. I forgot my drink. And I need to hydrate. How long is this? The chapters don't seem that long, which is kind of nice. Oh, there you go. Layla sent him for an ad. Did it say that? Oh. Okay, I see it. I mean, I like shorter chapters. I think it makes it easier to read a book and whatnot. So that's my preference. Okay, I'm going to continue. I kind of assumed with, like, the font that was the flyer. Flyer was the word I couldn't think of. No, Mom, I don't think so, Tanya said into her phone. There's just a lot to juggle, and I don't think I'll come back to finish school if I come home. Sorry, the reception here isn't great. What did you say? Tanya paced the underground lounge after stripping off the overalls. She didn't dare to remove her shoes in the unfamiliar place. Mom, it's not that I need to be convinced. No, you don't need to put Daddy on. Tanya huffed in defeat and tried to sound as sweet as she could. Hi, Daddy. No, I'm alright. Just, you know how things can pile up when you're trying to do it all. No, Missy's not here. She never is anymore. She caught her tone changing to anger and calmed herself. She sat on the musty recliner and bent over with her head in her hand. Yeah, we had a fight about some job stuff, but nothing we can't handle. She made some new friends and has been hanging out with them more. And so have I, actually. She sat up and looked around at the mostly empty walls. No, like just some people I met for help on a project that's due soon. What? No, I do not have a boyfriend. I don't have time for that right now, Daddy. Right. Well, it's just one more semester, and I have a job interview coming up too. I think it's an internship or something, which would be perfect to add to my resume. It's some kind of smaller design, just getting her name out. Designer just getting her name out. It looks like she's been out a few years, but not competing in the big leagues yet. Tanya nodded to her father, even though he couldn't see. Yeah, I keep telling her to call you. She's just, well, you know. Okay, I will. I love you too, Daddy. Tell Mom for me too, okay? Okay, bye. She opened her text messaging app on the screen and tapped on Melissa's picture, but there were no new messages. She took another look at the ad and message Blake sent her late last night. Her thumbs flew across the keyboard, on screen to send a reply. She pulled on the large overalls again and made her way to the door to leave through the tunnels. The message read, "I need a ride and we need to talk. The creep that's after me is watching the club. I'll get you an address in a few minutes." It's been a while since I've taken a night off, but I'm confident you guys can handle things here, Blake said to Brant and the security team before opening time. With everything up to date, it should be easier than ever to be a little short-handed. You guys know what to do. Doors open in 20 minutes. Plenty of time to bring the girls in and do all your checks. It's not likely to be too busy. You'll barely notice I'm gone. Just a reminder, no phones out on the floor. Don't get lazy on me. Brent dismissed the other men with a nod and waited until they were a few steps away before asking Blake for a chat in his office. "You could have given us a better heads up, boss. Don't you usually want a couple hours for call-offs?" Brent paced in front of the door, fidgeting with his hands. Blake reached into the top drawer of his desk for a pair of gloves and zipped up his jacket. "I thought the guys would all prefer to hear it directly since they know I live upstairs. Didn't want everybody on edge if I was just a no-show. But I don't want everybody too relaxed just because I'm out either. Good for moral, right? And I need you to keep a tight ship while I'm gone." I said the wrong word. Sorry. Brent nodded and tried to show more confidence. "I just ain't used to the responsibility yet, I guess. But everybody needs a night off, boss. I get it. Sometimes, the best way to learn how to be the boss is to get thrown to the wolves." Blake checked his phone and gave Brant a playful slap on the arm. "Try not to burn the place down." Blake left the office, took another look around the club, and then grabbed his motorcycle helmet from behind the bar. The parking lot was still quiet, with the last girls being escorted inside with a bouncer through the back door. He threw a leg over his bike and let the engine growl while strapping his helmet into place. He set the gear and drove off across town to the address in Tanya's message. Excuse me, sorry. Blake parked in front of a small diner near the waterfront and saw Tanya sitting inside at a booth. He pulled his helmet off as the nearby firehouse siren bleated into the evening air. When he walked inside, the older waitress hollered at him to close the door. At that noise out there, "Sorry, handsome, it just echoes in here, something awful. Can I get you something?" the waitress asked with a smoker's lit. What is a smoker's lit? Is it kind of rough? All that noise out there. "Sorry, handsome. It just echoes in here, something awful." That's probably more like it, I guess. Oh, man. Okay. Just a coffee, thanks," Blake answered as he went to sit with Tanya. "I'm not going to mess around here," Tanya started before Blake settled into his seat. "This guy chasing me is an old friend of your brother's. Well, he was. They had a fight, and now Simon's out chasing him down and left me sitting on my hands." "Sounds like Simon has his hands full. His old friends are... well... Seggy! Or no, it's Sexy Cow. I'm sorry. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Have you streamed lately? Because I feel like I have not seen you stream lately. Okay. Sorry. I'm doing well. We had a little tech difficulties earlier where I totally had to stop my stream, and I'm back and running. I didn't think I would be, so I'm glad I am. No, you haven't? I was wondering, because I tried to stop at people's streams and stuff, and I just noticed that you haven't been on, so sounds like fun though. Am I frozen? Have I been frozen for a while? Nope, I'm good. Okay. Wait, did you really? I didn't. There was. Hold on a second. Now I gotta look, because there was a person that I didn't know who it was. So with the subs, there's a ad break coming. With the subs, so basically there's a sub like text channel where people could tell me what they want me to read. So y'all get the choice of what I read. There was one person that gave a recommendation, which was the Wheel of Time. So I started reading that in the Discord in the sub channel. So that's probably what you read, because okay, I'll be honest, I started this past Tuesday, but nobody was there, so I just left. I was like, oh well. But so the other time we got to hold on. Oh really? So what if I hold my nose like this? Speak like this? I don't know. Okay, so we're not very far. I just started the Wheel of Time. We literally just read the first chapter, the prologue in the first chapter, and that was it. So we didn't get far at all. So even if you jumped back in there, you should be okay, because like I said, we just did the first chapter. I'll try to like do recaps like I do on here. I could do that if you want, if that will help. The notifications. Oh, I don't know why you don't get notifications, because I did the @subs, so you should have got one. So yeah, you should have got one, because I do the @subs, so all the subscribers will get a notification. So, Cal, you didn't hear. Okay, so, I mean, you're kind of a sub, so you kind of help with this and stuff, because you are a sub, which I much appreciate. But I got like my first pay from all the subs that I got, and I was, well, like the subs, biddies, donations, and all of that. But so I was basically able to order a new outfit, so I'm super excited. It'll probably take a week, so it won't be here until like next week and whatnot. So I'm super excited, because she's going to customize it like she did my wings. It's the same lady that did my wings. So, and before I forgot, I am participating in a raid-a-thon tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern. It's like a raid with like a whole bunch of different streamers. So don't forget about that. Seggy. Not Seggy, but Cal, here's a shout out for you. Once I figure out how to do the video shout outs, I will do those, but I don't know how to do them yet. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. I know what they are, and I know a lot more than that, but I want you to fill in the blanks. 2 fire engines screened by the diner window, and a street light flickered outside. Blake and Tanya watched together as the trucks parted traffic. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Here's your coffee, hon. The waitress said, and Tanya jumped in surprise. Sorry, sweetie. You sure you don't want anything? Sorry. I'm laughing at myself. The cook peeked out to the dining room to see if any orders were coming back. I'm gonna assume this is a guy. Hey, Margie. You sure you don't want anything? Oh, you know any of the girls work down at the strip club? It's on the scanner. Oh wait, is Margie the waitress? I told you, turn that thing off when working. I hate all that. Nothing but bad news. Margie answered. Hey, sorry, it keeps me occupied. The cook shrugged. What was on the scanner? Tanya asked the cook. The cook leaned into the ready window. That nudie club. Oh, why is it not going over? Yes, okay. That's the fire call. Oh, my God, Missy! Tanya cried out. Blake flipped a $5 bill on the table next to his untouched coffee and shot up out of his seat for the door. When he got out to his motorcycle, Tanya was right behind him. Put this on quick, he said, tossing his helmet to her. Tanya barely had her hands clasped around Blake's belly when he cranked the throttle and tore off towards Blush. When they took the next turn towards the club, he could see the plume of smoke in the air and the bright, spinning red lights of the fire engines. Before they reached the crowd gathered around the burning building, Blake saw a large dog run into the road and stop right in front of him. Oh. He squeezed the brake hard, but didn't have enough time to stop as the bike fishtailed with a squeal of rubber. The animal laid down just before Blake collided, with enough momentum to flip him and Tanya over the handlebars into the road. He could feel Tanya still holding tight and tried to brace the fall with both arms in front of his face. Tanya slipped up his back upon impact, and he could hear her helmet slamming into the pavement. Blake rolled over to get to his feet with the large dog pounced on his chest and made his head hit the hard road beneath him. The snarling beast growled closely into his face, then spun and waved as Blake struggled to stay conscious from the blow to his head. Ooh, is this a werewolf, dude? Simon. She asked me to. I tried to just send her away. Simon. Blake slurred and mumbled as the world went dark. Oh, it was Simon. Maybe. Oh wait, so it's not Simon? I mean, Blake called it Simon, though. I feel like there's a lot of accidents in here. Is this like the third accident? Because there was another motorcycle accident, wasn't there? Oh, so it's not. Interesting. Oh, okay. I might be imagining it then. Alright, so I'm actually going to stop there. Car accident. Yeah, I remember the car accident. So, It's a Long Story is the next one. Okay. So, yeah, we're almost like halfway through. Perfect ending, huh? Make people come back. Switch this over. I mean, I don't know if I told you, but I love cliffhangers. So I know, like most readers, it's kind of like it's like a love-hate kind of deal, but I love them. So well, I mean, yeah. You probably could have some cliffhangers, but then your chapters will be kind of weird. Like at the beginning after the accident or whatever, you just like dropped it off right there. But yeah. Alrighty. So tomorrow's the Raid-a-thon. My normal time streaming, basically. So yeah, it's actually through like Trip or like Shayhan. I think it's Trip. It's his name. He's the one that's gonna be doing it. Yeah, thanks for coming by. Thank you for like coming back. Cause I know you're working and stuff, so okay. Who should we raid? Talk shows and podcasts. That's Mercy. Ferris is playing DayZ. I don't know what that is. Oh! Axe, I have a quick question for you. Well, not a quick question. I guess it's more... Well, I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. Did you happen to leave before the raid last night? Because... I mean, I have... Just something to keep in mind. So that's why I'm asking. Like, if you're still in here. So, who should we raid? I never know who to raid. There's Elfin Screams. I feel like I raided her recently. Super Squeeze plays Retro. Oh, he's playing Sonic. Oh, you know what? We raided him recently. And then there's Trip. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I wonder if he's starting like right now. If he's doing his Raid-a-thon right now. We could help him kick it off. If he is. If I could get my Discord to open. Discord, please open. Discord, please open. Alright, I'm assuming Axe is gone. Why won't Discord open when I need it to open? Oh, I just had to do at least one scene with a girl on. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good scene. Okay, so my question was, did you happen to hop off before we raided last night? Okay, I may or may not have been on bikes before. And I may or may not enjoy motorcycles. Oh, okay, so the rating, it's like a way to show support to other streamers, and like they'll like raid, sometimes they'll raid me, and then you could grow that way. And that's how people discover, that's a way for people to like discover you and whatnot. So so basically we raided a guy. He's a reader. He's another reader, but you may be interested in him if you wanted to take this avenue. I don't know if you ever plan to or what, but he is trying to like basically get on doing, he's trying to do like audiobooks if I could speak, audiobooks, and I think right now he's just offering to do them like with the royals or whatever. He does have one book already on Audible, so I don't know if that's like something that you would be interested, y'all could get connected or whatever. But yeah, he started on Twitch. He started on Twitch so that that was his way to get into the audiobook field or whatever. Did you have an accident with bikes? Yeah. So I don't know if that's something you would be interested in, but I could get you connected if you wanted to. Okay, my Discord is not opening for some reason. Let me look on my phone. I'll be frozen for a minute. Servers. Raid-a-thon. Where are you? Right here. Oh, he's only... Okay, yeah. Okay. We are going to raid Trip so that we can get it in, we can start the raid-a-thons, that I'm part of or whatever. If you don't want to stay for the whole thing, some people like will leave tabs up on their computer just to show support too, because it shows that there's viewers or whatever. But that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Oh my god. Holy jeez. Okay, so I have a person in my family who does not like motorcycles either, but that's because they did lose somebody in a wreck from them. So, okay. So let's raid Trip. We'll get the raid-a-thon started that way, because he's already starting it. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for everybody that has supported the whole, like, the last month with, like, subs, the biddies, the donations, and everything. It's much appreciated. I enjoy it. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and raid So thanks for coming. I'll see y'all tomorrow as we continue our story. Oh, maybe tomorrow I'll talk about a book too, because I did finish a couple books this week. So yeah, thanks again. Appreciate it. And he is not even showing up on here. Trip. Dang it. What's his name? Trip 21. There you go. Alright. Start this raid. So, I needed like a goodbye saying or something. I need some, I don't know. Sprinkle some fairies or something. I don't know. Something silly. Alright. Bye, guys.